Okay, so our next topic is the micropropagation. As you know, we are studying the fifth chapter, that is the morphogenesis, under which we have to study each and every aspect of the plant tissue culture. And under this series, we have to study in detail the micropropagation. That is the technique in which we are using the small part of the plant to create the large number of plants. Now, we should understand what is the meaning of micropropagation. That is, what do you mean by the micropropagation? Because here the concept is always asked by the UPSC. That is, what do you literally mean by the micropropagation? Then you should know how we do the micropropagation. Okay. After what, you should ask how we can do the micropropagation. Then finally, you should add what are the various advantages of these micropropagation technique. Okay, so all these things we are going to discuss in this particular video lecture. Consider this is your syllabus. We are dealing with the paper number 1 and the chapter number 5, that is the morphogenesis, and we are here at the micropropagation. Okay, the large portion of the plant tissue culture we have already completed, and that is why this topic will be very easier for you to get understand, because we have already understood how to do the tissue culture, how to do the cell culture, how to create the hybrids, how to do the somatic hybridization. All these are also the part of the micropropagation, because here also we can take a small part of the plant and create the large number of plant out of it. Okay, so let's consider the first slide and understand what do you mean by the micropropagation. Now see, micropropagation is also known as the clonal propagation. Now you should carefully understood this word clonal. Now whenever we say the clone literally means which is very identical or same or as it is. That is, we are here creating the many plants out of the single plant, but all of these plants are the clones of each other. That is, they are genetically very identical with each other. What we do, we just take a part of the plant or cell of the plant, and we will culture the cell of the plant in the plant tissue culture laboratory, so that we can create the maximum number of the same species which have the exact same genomic composition as that of the parents, and hence we say all these plants are clone of their parent plant. So micropropagation, hence it is also known as the clonal propagation, because the clones are literally get created through the process of micropropagation, because there is a no sexual reproduction, so no new genetic combinations are created. But here, just like the vegetative propagation, we are just creating the clones of the parents. Now it is the only process which is adopted by the Indian plant biotechnologists in the different industries, mainly in the commercial production of the ornamental plants such as the orchids, chrysanthemum, and the eucalyptus. As you know, the ornamental plants are economically very important for the humans, because these ornamental plants are commercially sold in the market, and people like to purchase these plants and like to plant these plants in their homes or in their gardens. So basically, by using the plant tissue culture technique, in that if we use the micropropagation of the orchid plants, that is, you just take a one orchid plant, right? Now from this one orchid plant, you can take the 5 samples out of it, and you can grow these 5 samples in the plant tissue culture laboratory, so that you can create the new 5 new whole orchid plants. Okay, then these orchid plants can be sold in the market, because these are the ornamental plants, and ornamental plants has a commercial importance. So by using this technique of a micropropagation or say clonal propagation, we can actually create the many copies of a single plant. Yeah, and if the plant is the example like orchids or the chrysanthemum or the eucalyptus, which are commercially important or which are ornamental, this has a very much larger value. Okay, so basically by using the micropropagation technique, we can grow as many as plants as we like from the one single parent plant, and we can directly sold them into the market for the commercial purposes. Now not only this, but also the fruit plants such as the banana, grapes, and citrus were also created by using the particular technique of the micropropagation, because through this micropropagation, the one thing is very special about this technique is that it will give you the large number of plants from the very single plant. Now from this picture you can understand here is the single plant, but the many plants can be created out of this single plant. And you know the procedure, right from the X plant, right? We take the X plant from the plant, and this X plant first get sterilized, then we create the media is also sterilized, then we take all the glasswares which were already sterilized, and then we plant them in the plant tissue culture laboratory in the media, right? We transfer this X plant into the media, and then this media will literally create the whole new plant out of this X plant, right? And at the appropriate time, we will provide the amount of the vitamins or the hormones which are required for the normal growth and development of these plants, right? So basically, by using the micropropagation technique, the large number of plants can be created. So we prefer to create the large number of ornamental plants, and then we prefer to create the large number of fruit plants, because they have the commercial importance in the market, right? Now see, See, there are several other methods also in which the exact copies of the organisms got created. That is, in the micropropagation, we have already told you that the exact copy of the plant is got created with the same genetic composition. Okay, this first plant through which we have taken the X plant and have created this second plants. Both these plants are genetically very similar with each other, because there is no differences in the genes between the plant, the donor plant and the newly created plant. But this phenomenon of micropropagation can also be found in the nature naturally. Here we are doing this artificially in the plant tissue culture laboratory. But this kind of phenomenon where the exact new copy of the other organism got created and which has the very same genetic composition, it is already present naturally in the environment, or say in the natural world. See, there are several methods through which the organism produce the similar copies of themselves. For example, see the binary fission. Okay, this is found in a bacteria, right? In a bacteria we have understood this binary fission, and in this binary fission, from the one single cell, this cell undergoes the process to create the two cells which has the very same genetic composition, right? Where some bacteria were able to divide and they give rise to their daughter cells which are very similar to the parent cell. So basically here is the one parent cell, and finally this one parent cell create the two daughter cells, and these two daughter cells are very much similar with that of the parent cell. So the exact copy of itself is created by this bacteria in the natural environment, because this is their natural way of living. They create the exact binary copy of it by creating the daughter cells through the process of binary fission. Okay, but here in the micropropagation we are doing this artificially and from the human point of view, because we are growing such a plants in the plant tissue culture laboratory, or we are creating many copies of the plant by using the micropropagation for the commercial purpose only. While on the other hand, this is the very natural process which is occurring in the bacteria, and hence they can divide it themselves into the two similar cells. Now on the other hand, see the cuttings were also used in the agricultural and in the botany. Okay, not only the bacteria, but also we have the other vegetative way of reproduction in which the exact copy of the parent is got created. For example, in the plant world we use the cuttings. We take the cutting of one plant and plant that cutting into the soil, and you will get the whole new plant which is very similar with that of the parent plant, right? So what we do in this technique, we take the cutting from the one plant. Okay, for example, you have cut the part of this plant and you have planted them here in the different soil, so that it will create the another plant. So this is also a way of vegetative reproduction, because the exact copy of a parent is got created. So in the plant world as well, we are using the cuttings in the agricultural and in the botany for creating the exactly duplicate plant or exactly identical plant from the parent plant. So just like the micropropagation on the field as well, we can use the cutting techniques to create the mini plants, right? See, for the purpose of reproducing plants with the similar characteristic of the original plant. So basically, these are cuttings which we have taken from one plant and plant them to where appropriate conditions. Here the second plant which is created out of the first plant is exactly similar with that of the original plant, and hence it retain all of the similar characteristics of their parent plant. And that is why these cuttings are largely used in the agriculture and in the botany to create the exact copy of the original plant. So from this slide you will come to know that this phenomenon of micropropagation is naturally found in the natural world, that is in the bacteria or in the plant world. You can create the exact copy of the organism which has a very similar genotype with that of their parents, right? Now see, all through these methods are result in the production of the individual with a very similar characteristic, that is for the genotype to the original plant. They differ from the micropropagation in that the micropropagation specifically involves the growing of a cells or tissue from a given plant or organism in the culture under the sterility. Now see, what is the difference between the micropropagation and the natural vegetative reproduction which is occurring in the natural world? That is, what is the basic difference between the micropropagation and the cutting technique or the binary fission technique, right? Binary fission technique and the cutting technique is quite different from the micropropagation technique. With that respect, we are using the micropropagation technique artificially. On the other hand, these techniques are natural techniques, while on the other hand, the micropropagation is quite an artificial technique in which we try to grow cells or the tissue under the very sterile condition. Okay, as you know, in the plant tissue culture, we always give very high importance to the sterility so that there will not be any infection like the bacterial infection, fungal infection, or the other pathogenic infections, right? So here the micropropagation is, although we are creating the very identical plants which are very similar with the original parental plant, this is quite different from the cutting or the binary fission, because they are completely natural techniques, while on the other hand the micropropagation is an intentional artificial technique created by the human beings to create the large number of plants out of the small part of the one plant, right? Now see, while this technique is more sophisticated compared to the other techniques, it is used in the cloning. It allows the reproduction of the large number of plants within a very short period of time. Now see, here in the plant tissue culture laboratory, we always do the micropropagation in a way that it will create the large number of plants within a very short period of time. We can create the many clones of a single plant, and that too within the very short period of time. This is the specialty of a micropropagation, because here the natural time span is not required for the plants to complete their growth and development. Here, by providing the artificial vitamins and the hormones in a large quantity, we can create the plants in a very short period of time. While on the other hand, in the natural world, we will always require the natural time to get reproduce that particular plant. Okay, but here in the micropropagation, which is the very sophisticated artificial technique, what we do, we within a very short period of time we can create the very large number of the plants, right? Now see, what are the different stages which are involved in the micropropagation that we have to study now. Now see, the stages which are involved in the micropropagation are also the stages which we follow in the plant tissue culture. Okay, these are very similar methods. Just what we are doing here, we are creating the large number of plants this time. Generally, when we do the plant tissue culture, our aim is to create the large, the full-fledged plants out of the X plant. That is only the one plant we are creating from the X plant. But here in the micropropagation, it is different from the plant tissue culture in this regard, that we create the large number of plants. The aim is to create the large number of plants. It is not like that we are taking the only a tissue and then this tissue will go on to create the one new plant. But here in the micropropagation, what we do, we take the many tissues and we plant these many tissues on the many medias, and we create the large number of plants at the end of the process. And these plants always are of commercial nature. That is, for example, ornamental plants, or say the fruit plants, okay, which will give their commercial value in the markets. Okay, so what are the different stages in the micropropagation? See, the very first step is the selection of the suitable X plant. Now you should select a plant which plants you want to create in the large number. Okay, of course that plant should have the some commercial value, and that is why we are doing the micropropagation, right? So this plant should be the ornamental plant, this plant should be the fruit plant, or this plant should be the endangered plant which is going to disappear very soon. So this kind of the criteria is applied, and according to that the suitable plant is selected, and from the suitable plant we collect the X plant. And of course, after collecting the X plant, what we do, we sterilize that X plant and we transfer this X plant to the nutrient media. Now as you know, we have explained nutrient media in many of our lectures. You know how we create the media and which type of the media is the most common media, which is the MS media, right? So the nutrient media is created according to the need of the plant, and the X plants which are sterilized got transferred to this nutrient medium in the first stage. Then in the second stage, what will happen, the proliferation and multiplication of the shoots from the X plant occur. That is, here from the tissue, first there is an undifferentiated mass of cell is got created, which is called as the callus. Okay, and then this callus undergo the organogenesis to form the shoot and the root system. Okay, root system and the shoot system is got created out of this callus, and this callus, after differentiating, it will create the many parts of the plant internally as well as the externally. So in the second stage, what will happen, the proliferation or the multiplication of the shoots happen from the X plant. And then in the third step, after there is a formation of the complete plantlet, that is, there is a shoot part and then there is a root part. Okay, so if there is a complete formation of a small plantlet, then we can transfer these shoots to the rooting medium, followed their planting in the soil. So basically, after the formation of the shoot and root, and we can transfer these into the natural soil so that they can go into the natural world. Okay, so for example, you have taken the one banana plant. Okay, for example, we have taken the one banana plant, and out of this one banana plant we have taken the X plant. Okay, and then you have planted the X plant in the 100 dishes. Okay, now these 100 dishes will create the 100 calluses. Okay, and these 100 calluses will get differentiated or undergo the organogenesis process, and these will create the 100 plantlets. Now these 100 plantlets then were transferred to the soil. So now we have the 100 banana plants in our field, right from the one banana plant we have created the 100 banana plants, and these 100 banana plants will have the very much economic importance in the market, because large number of bananas will got produced and it will create the more money in the market. So through these three steps, which are very common with that of the tissue culture, but only difference is that we are creating the large number of plants by using the large number of X plants. Okay, so this is how we can do the micropropagation, by using the very small X plant at the beginning and creating the large number of plants at the end of the process. Okay, now consider what are the different advantages of this particular micropropagation process. Why we are doing that? What is the importance of the micropropagation? Okay, Now see the very first importance of this technique, it is that it helps in the rapid multiplication of the plant, right? This is the technique where from the one single plant you can create 100 plants, 1,000 plants, or plants in a lakhs, okay? 10,000 plants, how many plants you want, that much amount of the plants can get created by using this particular macro propagation technique, because this particular macro propagation technique follows the tissue culture techniques, in which we can create the large number of plant specimens as we required, okay? And this is the biggest advantage of the macro propagation, that is the large number of plants can be produced within a very short period of time. Then it is a large number of plantlets that are obtained within a very short period and from the very small space, okay? Now here you should understand the other two advantages, that we are creating these plantlets in a very short period of time, okay? In the natural world it will require many years to create that much amount of plant, but here in the artificially in the plant tissue culture laboratory you can create these plants in a very small period of time, because within the very short period we can grow all of the X plants together and we can create many plantlets, and that too within the very small place, okay? As you know, the plant tissue culture laboratory is not the bigger laboratory as compared with the field, and this plant tissue culture laboratory, the small area of it can create the large number of the plants. So why we are saving the times, and in a very small space we are creating the large number of plants. Then consider the third advantage. See, the plants are obtained throughout the year under the controlled condition independence of the seasons. As you know, the plants are always seasonal, okay? In the particular season they will grow and in other season they will not grow, so seasonality is naturally applicable to the plants, right? But here we don't have to worry about the seasonality, because seasons will not going to affect the plant tissue culture techniques, because within the plant tissue culture laboratory we always have the controlled condition, okay? The control conditions of the light, the control conditions of the temperature, the control conditions of the humidity, all these things are controlled, which are not controlled in the natural environment. So this controlled condition allows us to create the many plants regardless of which season is going on in the environment, okay? We don't have to worry about seasons, we just have to create the as many plants we like by giving them a very perfect controlled condition, okay? So this is the very important third advantage of the micropropagation. Now consider the fourth one. See, the genetically similar plant, that is the clones, are produced, right, by these methods, because whatever the parent we have taken, from these parents the many plants got created, and all of these plants are exact copies of the parent, okay? They are the exact clones of the parent, and therefore whatever the desirable characters are there within this particular parent plant, they got retained in the daughter plants as well. So at a first place we will select such a plants which has a very desired sex of the superior variety, and this particular superior variety can be used to create the as many as plant we want, because this superiority will literally as it is transferred to these daughter plants, and these daughter plants then can be of value, because they will produce the large quantity of fruits or other things which are for which this particular plant are important, okay? So these were kept constant for the many generations. We are creating the clones out of the parent plant, and these clones will create the thousands of the plants, and these thousands of the plants can create the millions of plants, okay? So we can actually conserve our desirable characters of our parent species, and that is why this technique becomes very, very important, because whatever the parents were selected of the superior quality, this superior quality is maintained throughout the generations, okay? So this is the another important advantage or the significance of the macro propagation. Now consider the fifth one. The rare plant or the endangered species can be multiplied by using this method, and such a plants can get saved. See, for example, if a species is rare, okay, this is the rare species, and the limited number of plants are present in the natural environment. Now in such a case, okay, now in such a case what we can do, we can actually create the large number of plants by using the micro propagation, and the number of this plant can be constantly increased to the much higher level, and that is why we can ultimately save this particular rare plant or the endangered plant species from going extinct from the mother earth, right? So here if the plant is rare or endangered, then the micro propagation is such a technique through which we can create the many plants as we want from that single plant species, and we can plant these species then into the natural area, so that the number of that particular species will get maintained in the ecosystem, and further it will not remain the rare plant or the endangered plant species, okay? So this is the, again from biodiversity point of view, the very biggest advantage of the micro propagation technique, okay? Now consider the sixth one, that is with the help of somatic hybrids or the hybrids, we can able to obtain the new variety within a short period of time. If we apply the somatic hybridization to the macro propagation or the hybridization to the micro propagation, we can actually create the new variety within a very short period of time. This is also a very advantage of the micro propagation technique, okay? So all these are the advantages for the micro propagation which we have to remember very carefully from the examination point of view. So this is all about this topic. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. Please like this video, share this video with your friends who are studying the botany, and if you haven't subscribed to the Botany After channel yet, please subscribe to the Botany After channel for UPSC examination. Again, thank you very much for giving your time. See you in the next video lecture. Thank you.